For 10 years, I was guided by Thoth through an internal chakra system, an Atlantean chakra system that is the heart of wildflower fire in so many ways. This is the most important work that he has asked me to share because it empowers you to tune in with both him and the school, the sacred community in the temple that is their heart and guidance. With this, I give you Thoth. When you refuse to be confused, you fail. Seeking clarity before it is time to be clear will put you in a position where you are holding very small parts of truth. You know within yourself when something is real, and yet the realness of those elements of this reality that resonate with you is often partial. We cannot correct this because if we contradict your limited understandings, you will lose your foothold on the deeper presence of this light. Thus, we allow you to be deluded because the consequences of denying you the tenuous understandings you hold would ruin you even more deeply. It is normal to go crazy, for your mind to lose its hold on what is real, for all of the most painful and confusing emotions of your past to rise to the surface. This is not actually a bad thing. It is a direct result of you gaining the ability to see everything. You have the capacity to see, to recognize from within yourself in the same ways you were able to recognize before you were born. This breadth of awareness is entirely different than what you see through your physical senses. The contrast of these forces can be daunting. As you awaken your ability to see in these ways, it is crucial that you attune with the more focused versions of awareness that your body gives you. Your third eye is capable of focusing your awareness in a way that is similar to the ways you see before you are born. Yet it is not the same. This is an intrinsic gift of your body. It is unique to being in a body. And it is crucial that you aim to develop this because you are not capable of integrating your spiritual awareness from before your birth. You must prevent yourself from reaching into the kind of awareness you brought to your body. It is too much for you to bear. And yet, when you refuse to recognize this, you often leave what is normal so completely that you lose the ability to integrate into your life. The gifts of a healthy, awakened state depend on your third eye tuning with your heart. This knowledge has been given to human beings for many thousands of years, and yet it is crossing from a restricted form of awareness into a general form of awareness. Understand, all human capacities resonate in a way that affects other people. When you are in the presence of someone who is highly developed in a certain way, it is actually easier to access this within yourself. This is true because the resonance of the capability of embodying any form of consciousness harmonizes with the potential in you. This is not the only way to access restricted knowledges. It is a good way. And yet, for thousands of years, the costs of allowing many people to be aware in certain ways were too high. When the greater portion of the human population is too close to an animalistic consciousness, it is not safe to allow human beings in general to know how to feel each other too deeply. The consequence of awakening someone who is too close to a creature state of being induces them to immediately strive for dominance over that which they see. And the costs of this are violence. Now, this is what has happened. Human beings have repeatedly advanced the capacity of being human to an edge where it was too much for the general population. Thus, the greatest range of skills in human ability were restricted in small and even secretive groups. Many of these groups were under our guidance. We did not do this out of a desire to elevate some over others and to restrain your ability to learn. It is natural to resent us for favoritism. And yet, please appreciate the consequence of giving everyone these forms of knowledge regularly resulted in violence. We did teach broader ranges of people repeatedly. If you knew how to witness human history through our eyes, you would be able to recognize the many phases during which a broader range of people have been awakened. These phases were always restrained by the edge of the greater population's capacity to handle these truths. And I tell you now, those touched by this light were always creating the human potential. The most important function of awakening strict boundaries around small groups was to nurture the human potential itself. In certain ways, it did not matter who was learning. Creating the capacity to resonate with deep spiritual awareness within a human body was an essential development in consciousness on the planet. To be able to witness with an open third eye that is tuned with your heart drives human beings to extend compassion in a manner that has remarkable effects. This is not simply a form of kindness. Compassion in this form actively generates the capacity to learn quickly. It opens channels of trust, which have the physical impact on the body that enables you to share information at a rate that far exceeds what you know to be normal. The near-term future is open to these channels. The active presence of the human potential has already enabled you to access knowledge and skill that far exceed what you have been taught are possible. To make these leaps within yourself, you must activate a third center, your root. In your root, you contain a filter. This filter is designed to prevent you from allowing too much energy to move through you. When you change this filter, there is less control over the flow. It is much easier to maintain a boundary than to generate one where it does not exist. In the same way, opening the floodgates of a dam allows much more water to rush down a river. It is much more difficult to build a dam once the water is rushing. And thus, what you experience as spiritual awakening is an active increase in how much energy moves through you. This energy awakens your memories. There is no way to ground the awareness in your third eye without centering it in your heart. And yet there is no way in centering in your heart unless you allow enough energy to move through you to cleanse your memories. These memories will invariably force you to confront those parts of your personality that exist beyond this life. These gateways are stored in your root. As you open them, it becomes increasingly difficult to close them. And as you open them, it becomes impossible to continue to believe that you are only this lifetime. Thus, to extend your sense of self beyond your name and birth is to extend your sense of identity within this life, to include those who have come to this planet with you. You must want this to find it. You may well have partially begun this process. I discourage you from believing you are done. The magnificent range of openness that awaits you necessitates that you raise your gaze to look broadly into a future that exists well beyond the possibilities you have thought you were restricted within. The challenges of awakening are many, and I'm here to help those of you who are ready for ongoing guidance. Mention Spiritual Awakening when you contact Wildflower Fire, and you will receive reduced ongoing sessions that can help you read, interpret, heal, and understand how to step forward into the best life you can live.